Morning, students. I hope you all are doing well at your place. And today we'll be talking about sentence phrases and then clause. Let's just title of our chapter is sentences, phrases, and clauses. Right? As we all know, what do you mean by sentence? Sentence is a group of words which are put together, जो एक साथ होते हैं so that they can mean, right? And it is the unit of a language. का unit है, language का unit है, which expresses a complete thought, right? So the sky is blue. Today is Monday. All these are sentences. Moving on to this is the types of sentences. The first type is assertive or you can say declarative sentence. ये वो sentences होते हैं that express a fact. के अंदर एक fact रहता है, opinion रहती है और कुछ राइट. शी लव सिंगिंग व्हेन शी इज अलोन. जब वो अलोन होती है तो उसको गाना गाना पसंद है. द सन इज द बिगेस्ट स्टार इन द यूनिवर्स, वी ऑल नो. whereas moon is the natural satellite. Interrogative sentences which is related to questions, right? A sentence that asks a question and ends with a question, right? Next is, do you like to play table tennis? क्या आपको table tennis खेलना पसंद है? Have you ever had your dinner already? क्या आपने already अपना dinner कर लिया है? Moving on to the next is imperative sentence. Imperative sentences is a command, request, an instruct, command or request to do something, right? Just bring me a glass of water, please. मेरे लिए glass पानी लेकर आइए. Don't ever touch my phone. The command कि मेरा phone छूने की कोई जरूरत नहीं है. Moving on to the next is exclamatory sentence. Express the sudden emotion, right? And contains an exclamatory mark because it involves the strong emphasis. Like you are a lovely, you are really funny. बहुत ही ज़्यादा funny है. What a large dog it is, right? सिंपल सेंटेंस वो सेंटेंस होता है जिसके अंदर एक सब्जेक्ट होता है, एक प्रेडिकेट होता है, एक वर्ब होता है और उसके अंदर एक ऑब्जेक्ट भी हो सकता है, मॉडिफायर्स हो सकते हैं, बट एक ही इंडिपेंडेंट क्लॉज होता है, राइट? So many people they eat cereal for breakfast. Cereals are like oats and dalia. All these belong to cereals. I don't. I drink coffee every morning. हर morning में coffee भी, right? Next is compound sentence. कोऑर्डिनेट क्लॉजेस के बारे में. कंपाउंड सेंटेंस वो सेंटेंस होता है जिसके पास एटलीस्ट दो इंडिपेंडेंट क्लॉज होते हैं जो कि ज्वाइन होते हैं कॉमा से, कंजंक्शन से और सेमीकोलन से, राइट? शी डिड नॉट चीट ऑन द टेस्ट. उसने चीट नहीं किया फॉर द थिंग्स, फॉर इट वाज द रॉन्ग थिंग्स टू डू. क्या है? गलत है, राइट? आई रियली नीड टू गो टू वर्क बट आई एम सिक टू ड्राइव. मैं ड्राइव नहीं कर सकती बिकॉज आई एम, राइट? कोऑर्डिनेट क्लॉजेस जो होते हैं कंपाउंड सेंटेंसेस के, दे आर जॉइंड बाय द कोऑर्डिनेटिंग कंजंक्शन. उसमें से कुछ जो कंजंक्शन वो क्या है? फॉर, एंड, नॉट, नॉर और येट, ओनली, देयरफॉर एंड स्टिल, राइट? एंड कॉम्प्लेक्स सेंटेंसेस जो होते हैं दे आर जिसमें पढ़ने वाले हैं सबॉर्डिनेट क्लॉजेस के बारे में. कॉम्प्लेक्स सेंटेंस वो होता है जिसके अंदर एटलीस्ट एक इंडिपेंडेंट क्लॉज होता है और एक इंडिपेंडेंट क्लॉज होएगा. एक डिपेंडेंट क्लॉज है और एक इंडिपेंडेंट क्लॉज है, राइट? इवन दो आई हेट चॉकलेट, मैं चॉकलेट को पसंद नहीं करती बट आई एम गोइंग टू ईट इट एनीवे. एनीवे आई विल बी गोइंग टू. व्हेन इट रेन्स, रोड्स कैसी होती है? स्लिपरी. ऑन बिहाफ ऑफ दिस यू हैव टू कंप्लीट दीज एक्सरसाइजेस ऑन योर ओन. मूविंग ऑन टू द नेक्स्ट इज सिंथेसिस. एज द नेम इंडिकेट्स, मतलब कुछ, राइट? इट इज द कॉम्बिनेशन ऑफ टू और मोर सिंपल सेंटेंसेस को कंबाइन करेंगे एंड दे विल फॉर्म अ सिंगल सेंटेंस जो कि बहुत ही ज्यादा सिंपल भी होगा और कॉम्प्लेक्स भी हो सकता है. Can be combined using the adjectives, using the relative clauses, phrases, right? Verbs, infinitives, prepositions, conjunctions, or you can say participle phrases से join हो सकते हैं. टू और मोर सिंपल सेंटेंसेस जो होते हैं वो एक सिंपल सेंटेंस और एक कंपाउंड सेंटेंस से ज्वाइन हो सकते हैं और कॉम्प्लेक्स सेंटेंस इन अ डिफरेंट वे बाय यूजिंग द रूल्स which is mentioned below. First is finding simple sentences to form the compound sentence. जैसे कि synthesis of a simple sentence को हम compound sentence में करेंगे. It can be done by using coordinate clauses जैसे कि and, not only, but also, either or, neither or, but, yet, however, therefore, though, and although, for, and so, right? So look at these simple sentences and note that how these conjunctions they are used for the purpose of what? For the purpose of the synthesis. जैसे I went to the market, मैं market गई, I bought a loaf of bread, bread का एक loaf लेकर आई and fresh cheese. वो here is a loaf of a bread is bread का पूरा एक bread लेकर आना. I went to the market and bought a loaf of bread and fresh cheese. देखिए उन्होंने क्या करा है? कंजंक्शन लगा दी. नेक्स्ट इज मीशा जो है शी लव्स फ्लावर्स. उसको फ्लावर्स बहुत पसंद है. और वेडिंग हॉल जो है उसका वेडिंग हॉल इट वाज डेकोरेटेड विद पैंसीज, ऑर्किड्स, मैरीगोल्ड्स, ट्यूब रोजेस, राइट? and Misha loved flowers and therefore उसकी जो wedding hall है it was decorated with all those flowers which are. Next is you will get a prize of brownie. You will get a blueberry muffin. तुमको क्या मिलेगा? Blueberry muffin और brownie मिलेगा. You will either get a brownie or a blueberry muffin, right? देखिए और conjunction लगा हुआ है. They are twins, right? They only have a few interests in common, right? Although they are twins, वो लोग twins हैं, but still they have a very few interests in common, right? On behalf of this, you have to complete exercises on your own. Moving on to the next is how you can combine symbols from the complex sentences. अब simple sentence जो है complex sentence को it can be done by using a noun or you can say an adjective clause or you can adverb clause, right? By using a noun clause की अगर हम बात करें, use for the synthesis of sentence functions as a noun जिसमें noun है complex sentences में maybe in the position of a subject or you can say object. जो conjunction use होते हैं they are used to introduce that noun clause in that. For example, her father is likely to give him a punishment. उनको punishment दे रहे हैं. Her father is likely to give him punishment something वो जो deserve करते हैं. He liked my suggestion. He likes what I suggested. जो मैंने suggest किया उसको पसंद आ रहा है. By using an adjective clause can be used for combining these sentences, right? And it does the work of adjective function करेगा adjective के जैसे and it gives the information about noun in the principal clause of a simple of a complex sentence. Next is, for example, my friend missed the lecture. उसने lecture miss. He borrowed the Sam notes to review. Sam के notes मिले हैं review करने के. My friend who missed the lecture borrowed Sam notes to review. देखिए आप देख सकते हैं यहाँ पे एक conjunction लगा हुआ है, right? This is the house I spend most of my childhood over here, and this is the house जहाँ पे मैंने अपना पूरा बचपन गुजारा है. Moving on to the next is adverb clause, क्योंकि adverb के जैसे function करेगा simple sentence को simple single sentence में by changing one of these sentences into what? Into the adverb clause. Just to adverb clause time का हो सकता है, reason, any place, any condition, any purpose, any result, right? Comparison or contrast, and subordinate conjunctions जैसे कि although, if, so, that, as, while to introduce the clause. Next is was too poor to educate her children. बच्चों को पढ़ाने के लिए वो बहुत ही ज्यादा पुअर थी. She was so poor that she could not educate her children. वो इतनी पुअर थी वो अपने बच्चों को नहीं पढ़ा पाई. On being challenged, they ran away. वो वहां से भाग गए. When they were challenged, they just ran away. Moving on to this, you have to complete these exercises on your own. Then it is combining the simple sentences to form one simple sentence. Is जब भी कोई दो sentence जब एक action complete हो जाता है उस दूसरा begin होने से पहले, then we use हम having use करते हैं और past participle being or you can say past participle to join the sentence. जैसे कि we saw the weather forecast and on our trip to the beach, right? Having seen the weather forecast, we decided to postpone the trip. Trip देखा हमने weather की वजह से हमें postpone करना पड़ा. My friends are vegetarian. वो meat नहीं खाते हैं. My friends being vegetarians, my friends do not eat any meat, right? By using an infinitive, जब भी एक sentence में आप कोई भी चीज को एक purpose को या cause को express यूज किया जाता है. कि the lady looked out of the window की तरफ देख रही हैं. Of her carriage, she wanted to enjoy the beautiful scenery, right? Scenery की spelling में आप देख सकते हैं SC आता है. Most of the students सी भूल जाते हैं, right? The lady looked out of the window of her carriage to enjoy the beautiful scene, right? I went to Goa last week and idea was कि हम वहाँ पे scuba diving करेंगे. I went to Goa last week to try the scuba diving. Okay, this diving is done inside the water to see the marine life. Next is by using a noun or you can say in apposition. What do you mean by apposition? Right? This is a use of a noun or a phrase that immediately follows a noun sentence making a special difference to it. This can make special difference. Taj Mahal is one of the seven wonders of the world, we all know, and it was built by Shah Jahan. Taj Mahal, one of the seven wonders, it was built by Shah Jahan. देखिए built आया है, भी नहीं आया है, right? Kiran Bedi, she was the first woman to join the IPS officer, that is Indian Police Services, and she received the Magase Award in this 1994 for her bravery, right? So Kiran Bedi, she was the first woman to join this and she received the Magase Award in 1994. Next is by how you can use a preposition by using a noun or a gerund. Sometime एक preposition phrase जो होता है, it is the combination of two simple sentences in two simple sentence. राइट। दो सिंपल सेंटेंस को सिंपल सेंटेंस में कंबाइन करती है और preposition यूज्ड विद अ नाउन और अ gerund, जैसे कि टैगोर वाज अ ग्रेट पोएट और वो एक अच्छे पेंटर भी थे। He was being a great poet, Tagore was also a good painter. Mother heard the news of her son return from where? From the war, and she was overwhelmed with joy. बहुत खुश हो गई। On hearing the news of her son's return, the mother was overwhelmed with joy. Moving on to the next, by using an adverb, दो simple sentences combine करेंगे तो क्या होगा? Adjective use होगा और एक adverb. The baby was sleeping in the pram and she was very happy. The baby was sleeping happily playing in the pram. Right. Priyanshi completed her assignment. She was diligent. Diligent means she is very intelligent. So Priyanshi diligently completed her. Then how you can define a phrase or and of course a phrase. We all know sentence is a group of words that make a complete sense. Right? Sentence के पास एक subject भी होता है जो कि डायरेक्टली कभी कभी स्टेट होता है, कभी कभी इम्प्लाइड होता है और कभी कभी प्रेडिकेट, विच पास एक फाइनाइट वर्ब भी रहती है। अब लुक एट दीज ग्रुप ऑफ सेंटेंस। थ्रू द विंडो, amusing anecdotes, right? Strolling through the garden. So these group of words, they do not make a complete sense. Hence, these group of words are not sense. Group of words that make a complete sense, right? That basically make sense but not complete. इसको हम क्या बोलेंगे? Phrase. Phrase और sentence में ही फर्क होता है। Phrase is usually a part of sentence. Phrase जो है वो part है sentence का। We can add some words, कुछ words add कर सकते हैं to the above phrase ना पाएं। When I looked through the window, I saw a peach tree full bloom. मैंने देखा peach पूरा full bloom कर रहा है। और Uncle Harry would tell us amusing anecdotes about his life as a traveler. He is telling some different stories as being a traveler. The woman strolling through the garden is my aunt from Germany. Germany जो कि वो garden में। Now look at these group of sentences. The woman who is strolling through the window is my aunt who is from Germany. Right over here, this highlighted word जो है strolling through the window do not constitute. इसके पास कोई phrase नहीं है, but एक subject है. वो subject क्या है? Who aunt. And there is a finite verb जिसका क्या है? Is strolling. So in this way, ये जो group of words हैं that resembles a sentence. However, it is not a sentence नहीं है ये, but it does not make a complete sense also. That is why वो क्या है? Is only a part of a sentence and it is a group of words जिसके पास subject होता है, एक verb होती है and makes complete sense। उसे समझ में आ रहा है आपको? देखिए, one more time, group of words जो कि complete sense बनाते हैं but complete नहीं होते उनको बोलते हैं phrase। जो एक complete sense बनाते हैं जिनके पास subject भी होता है और finite verb भी होता है उसको हम क्या बोलते हैं? नेक्स्ट इज phrase के पास कोई finite verb नहीं होती है। मार्क इट दैट क्लॉज के पास फाइनाइट वर्ब होती है और सेंटेंस के पास तो एक फाइनाइट वर्ब एटलीस्ट। सेंटेंस हैज मेनी क्लॉजेस, बहुत मर्जी क्लॉजेस हो सकती है एज द फाइनाइट वर्ब। एंड अगर सेंटेंस के पास एक ही फाइनाइट वर्ब है देन इट मींस इट इज मेड अप ऑफ ओनली वन क्लॉज। नेक्स्ट, फ्रेज कैन नेवर स्टैंड ऑन इट्स ओन, खुद के लिए नहीं खड़ा हो सकता है। सेंटेंस कैन स्टैंड ऑन इट्स ओन वेयर एज क्लॉज मे और मे नॉट स्टैंड ऑन इट्स ओन। क्लॉज कैन स्टैंड ऑन इट्स ओन, इट मींस वो एक सेंटेंस है, राइट? एंड इफ इट कैन नॉट बी अ पार्ट ऑफ सेंटेंस देन इट विल or more. First is the kinds of phrases that we'll be studying is the noun phrase, adverb phrase, and adjective phrase. Noun phrase is a group of words that can be replaced by a pronoun. जो कि noun से replace हो सकता है and it will function like a noun, इसलिए noun phrase है, right? Next is the very tall education consultant with the roving eye. The very tall education consultant with the roving eye, the man with the hat. These all are the examples. Then on behalf of this, you have to complete the exercise on your own. Moving on to this adverb phrase, which will function as an adverb in the sentence. There is a cricket match on Sunday, and sing a song for me in that tone. Moving on this, you have to complete these exercise on your own. Right. Then comes to adjective, which will work as an adjective in a sentence. जिसको हम बोलेंगे adjective phrase. Brother is a talented student. Student तो है, but कैसा है? Talented है, right? Now, his brother is a student of a great talent. This is also an adjective phrase. A black hair girl, एक लड़की है जिसके बाल जो हैं वो black हैं. Girl with a black hair, right? अब देखिए हैं टेबल है, ये शो कर रहा है एडजेक्टिव को और उसकी इक्विवेलेंट एडजेक्टिव फ्रेजेस को, जैसे कि काइंड हार्टेड जेंटलमैन, अ जेंटलमैन विद अ काइंड हार्ट, राइट? ग्लूमी एटमॉस्फेयर, एटमॉस्फेयर विद फुल ऑफ ग्लूम, ग्लूम सैड। Promising boy, a boy of great promise, right? A diamond studded necklace, a necklace with many diamonds. right? A blank page, a page with no writing on it, a woolen carpet, a carpet which is made up of wool. On behalf of this, you have to complete this exercise on your own. Now, what is the difference between a phrase, clause, and a sentence? First, we'll be studying about a clause. We have already studied that group of words that has a subject and of course a finite verb and it makes complete sense. उसको हम क्या बोलेंगे? Clause बोलेंगे, right? Whereas just read these sentences and highlight some group of words. जैसे कि आप देखिए, Mayank sat on a wooden chair पे बैठते हैं Mayank, right? Mayank bought the chair because it was very comfortable. Highlighted group of words in the sentence में does not have any subject and verb. Hence वो क्या है? एक phrase है. तो highlighted group of words in the same sentence का सब्जेक्ट भी है वर्ब भी है बट इट डज नॉट मेक अ क्या है एक क्लॉज है राइट और कुछ क्लॉजेस के पास सब्जेक्ट्स नहीं होते हैं दे विल हैव अ फाइनाइट वर्ब जैसे आप देखिए मयंक सैट ऑन अ चेयर दैट वाज मेड अप ऑफ वुड राइट मयंक कम इन फर्स्ट इन द रेस व्हिच सरप्राइज्ड हर फ्रेंड राइट so some sentences they are made up of one clause sentences they are made up of two or more clauses. So a phrase is a meaningful group of words. We all know this. Whereas clause is a meaningful group of words and sentence is a meaningful group of words also, right? Or it does not make a complete sense by itself. जो clause होते हैं, they may or may not be dependent on something else for complete earning. If it stands on its own, then it will. If it stands on its own, then it is a sentence. If it is not, then it is not part of no longer a part of a sentence which is made up of two or more clauses. Whereas sentence can stand on its own और उसके पास एक अपना complete thought होता है. Next is इसके पास कोई finite verb नहीं है, इसके पास कोई finite verb नहीं है, इसके पास at least finite verb है, right? It has no subject or predicate. इसके पास भी होता है और sentence के पास तो है subject और predicate. It has no finite verb. It has only one finite verb और इसके पास भी finite verb होता है. This is the type of clauses. First clause is independent तो मेन और प्रिंसिपल क्लॉज बोलते हैं और डिपेंडेंट और सबऑर्डिनेट क्लॉज. रीड दीज सेंटेंसेस. कुछ सेंटेंस हम रीड करते हैं. द बुक वाज रिटन बाय समवन हु हैज अ थॉरो नॉलेज ऑफ सब्जेक्ट. जिसके पास पूरे सब्जेक्ट की नॉलेज है. आई विल लीव नाउ बिकॉज इट्स लेट. बहुत लेट हो रहा है. तो अंडरलाइन पार्ट है सेंटेंसेस के. दे कैन स्टैंड ऑन देयर ओन एज एन इंडिपेंडेंट सेंटेंसेस. हाउएवर जो हाईलाइट पार्ट है इस सेंटेंस का दे स्टैंड cannot stand on its own. They have to depend on the rest of the sentence to convey its meaning. So a clause जिसके पास एक finite verb होता है, they make a complete sense and can stand on its own. इसी को क्या बोलते हैं? Main clause और principal. Next is subordinate और independent clause के बारे में बोलेंगे जिसके पास एक finite verb है, but does not make a complete sense. Has to depend on the main clause to complete it. Right? Now coordinate clauses क्या होते हैं? You have to read these sentences that Parul left yesterday and Parul has not returned since. अभी नहीं आई है. Parul left yesterday and she has not returned since. Right? By using these coordinating conjunctions use करके you can join the two sentences. Grammatical importance. Grammatical में एक आता है. So clauses that are joined by coordinating the conjunctions, they are known as coordinated clauses, or you can say main clause, right? Moving on to the noun clause, which will definitely function as a noun, right? So we have studied earlier a subordinate clause that will act as a noun. The sentence उसको हम noun clause बोलते हैं. आप देख सकते हैं Sarita, she hopes to clear the interview easily she can clear the interview. So noun phrases जो होते हैं, they act as the object of the verb, right? Sarita hopes that she can clear the interview easily. और noun clause यहाँ पे act कर रहा है as the object of the verb hopes, right? Our thoughts जो है they will give the shape to our character. Noun phrase जो है will act as the subject of the verb. Over here it's give, right? What we think gives the shape to our character. जो हम सोचते हैं वही हमको. Noun clause will act as the subject of the verb which is given over here. Sandhya seems to be a woman of her word. This is the noun phrase and means that Sandhya जो है she is a woman of her word. अपनी बात की पक्की है, right? More about noun clauses. It will perform as a function in a sentence. Noun के जैसा function करेगा. Noun clause as a subject अगर हम देखेंगे. What you said yesterday बहुत ही ज़्यादा inspiring था. Whoever stole the car crash it wall में crash कर देगा. Noun clauses को आप ऑब्जेक्ट वर्ब के बताएंगे तो जो डिटेक्टिव डिटरमाइंड है जो बटलर है वो कल्प्रिट है. वो इज बटलर. बटलर इज अ पर्सन दैट इज आप कह जो आपके घर में मेल किचन में काम करने वाली एंटिटी होती है उसी को बोलते हैं बटलर. he offered who attended the event as a discount, right? Noun clauses को हम complement of the verb में बात करेंगे तो news that they were expelled for plagiarism surprised. Plagiarism का मतलब क्या होता है? चीटिंग करना, right? The thought that he would steal be all his own broke his heart. उसका दिल तोड़ दिया. Noun clause as the object of the infinitive. He needs to know कि वो कल ही जा चुकी थी बहुत जल्दी and Rama encouraged Simba to remember कि वो कौन है, who he was. Noun clause को as the object of the participle बात करें. I am pleased that you have dealt with the problem this way. आपने इस तरीके से प्रॉब्लम को सॉल्व किया है. Mitali shouted at Mohan, thinking that he would intentionally hit the puppy. Now, noun clause as the object of the preposition. We all know preposition is the word that tells the relation. Our subject depends on who owns the murder weapon. ये murder weapons किस हैं? The people want to hear about why you are running for Congress. Noun clause in apposition to a noun. The report that he is absconding is untrue, right? And nobody believes your statement that you did. You get a free chance, get a fair chance, right? On behalf of this, you have to complete these exercise on your own. Moving on to this adverb, verb or function as an adverb, right? So that does the work of an adverb in a sentence. It will modify an adjective, or you can another adverb. So you should visit the temple before leaving town. So basically यहाँ पे adverb है which will indicate that when you should visit the temple, right? You should visit the temple before you leave town. This is an adverb clause. Next is being sick बीमार होने की वजह से remain at home. यहाँ पे adverb phrase है which is giving the reason. So this is an adverb of reason. As she was sick, she remained at home. She will suffer a great financial loss in case of a further delay. This is an adverb phrase. Will suffer a great financial loss in any further delay. Next is more about adverb clauses के बारे में बात करें तो basically modifiers होते हैं. Something about an action which is suggested by another clause, right? So by it may tell the time, the place, the manner, and it will definitely tell the cause and purpose, or you can action. It indicates the कैसे हो रही है. We compare or contrast this condition. Therefore, जो adverb clauses हैं, they are classified into first is adverb clause of time कि time कब हो रहा है, चीजें कब हो रही हैं. While, after, when, before, since, for, as long as soon as, ये सब क्या है हमारा adverb clause of time, right? When she called, he had already eaten lunch. उसने already lunch खा लिया था. I played tennis since I was a young boy. मैं बहुत ही ज्यादा छोटा. Adverb of place is introduced by a conjunction कब हो रही है. Where, wherever or wherein, right? So you can sit wherever you like. जहाँ पे आपको पसंद है आप वहाँ बैठ सकते हैं. We asked her to find us when where we were. हम लोग कहाँ थे. Next is adverb clause of purpose. They are introduced that, so that, in order, right? Next is I'm studying English. I'm studying English so that I can use the internet. जिससे कि मैं internet use कर पाऊँ. Next is adverb clause. Reason के होते हैं. They are introduced by the conjunction clause since as. She left early as she had a meeting, right? Because it was raining. The game जो है it was postponed, right? Adverb clause of condition basically वो conjunctions होते हैं जैसे whether, unless, case, so long, or you can say provided that. If you arrive at the job interview on time, then you will have a better chance of getting the selection, or you can say getting the position. In case you need me, I'll treat you. I'll be at terms. मैं वहाँ पे होऊंगा. Adverb clause of result जो होता है, it is introduced by the subordinating clause, means that may be preceded by so or such, right? जैसे कि the subways were such a mess that people को वहाँ पे ride करना ज़्यादा पसंद नहीं. It was so dark that I could not see anything. मुझे कुछ नहीं दिख रहा. Adverb clause of comparison, they are introduced then, as, so, then, right? She's so stupid as you think, and he works harder than I do. Adverb clause of concession basically क्या होता है conjunction में though, although, notwithstanding, even if, even though, however, right? Although it rained, everyone enjoyed the parade. सबने parade को enjoy किया. Adverb clause of manner, they are introduced by the conjunction जैसे कि as if, though, just as. She looks as if she were a fairy. वो क्या है, एक fairy है. Adverb clauses of contrast basically while, or you can say whereas. Comparison हो रहा है यहाँ पे, contrast हो रहा है means opposite है. while Shilpa is all in white और उर्मिला कैसी है ब्लैक कलर में बैठी है, right? Moving on to this, on behalf of this you have to complete this exercise. Moving on to this is adjective, जो कि एक adjective clause है, तो adjective जैसा function करेगा, which will work as an adjective clause बोलते हैं. It is an adjective clause or you can say relative clause. For example, the house that Lily bought वो बहुत ही ज्यादा बड़ा है. Enormous means big. राइट द शर्ट दैट ही गिव मी वो बहुत ही ज्यादा बड़ी है. हाईलाइटेड वर्ड्स जो है फर्स्ट सेंटेंसेस में दैट लिली बॉट वो एक एग्जेक्टिव क्लॉज है, और हाईलाइटेड वर्ड सेंटेंस में दैट शी गिव मी इज एन एग्जेक्टिव क्लॉज. राइट, लुक एट सम मोर सेंटेंसेस. द एक्सपीरियंस हैज टॉट मी अ वैल्यूएबल लेसन. बहुत ही अच्छा वैल्यूएबल लेसन मिला है जो कि कभी नहीं भूला जा सकता है. द एक्सपीरियंस, यस जो एक्सपीरियंस है, इट हैज गिवन मी अ वैल्यूएबल लेसन आई कैन नेवर फॉरगेट, जो कभी नहीं भूल. दिस इज एन एग्जेक्टिव. दिस इज we need a teacher with 3 years experience. Teaching experience होना चाहिए. We need a teacher who has a 3 years experience. This is an adverb. This is an adjective clause, right? Next is an adjective clause जो होते हैं basically describes a noun and a pronoun. करते हैं because adjective tells the quality of a noun and a pronoun. It usually answers the question which or what kind. The book that I borrowed from the library, it is borrow. कल के लिए वो ड्यू है. नेक्स्ट इज एडजेक्टिव क्लॉज इज यूजुअली इंट्रोड्यूस्ड बाय द WH वर्ड्स who, whose, whom. This that who किसके लिए यूज होता है? फॉर लिविंग, नॉन लिविंग एनिमल्स, दैट इज यूज बोथ. और हम देख सकते हैं यस इज यूज फॉर नॉन लिविंग एंड दोनों के लिए. Children who belong to this generation, they are very smart, बहुत smart हैं. I admire the professors books whose books were stolen. I admire the books. I next is sometimes adjective clause जो होते हैं, they may be introduced by the words just where, when and why. ये जो words होते हैं, they refers to place, time and reason, the main clause. Right, she did not wake up until 7 a.m. when the sun was rising, and I know a place जहाँ पे white roses grow करते हैं. Because sometimes it is possible कि आप उन चीजों को हटा दें, जैसे the water that you are drinking is not pure, the water which you are drinking is not pure, right? The food prepares she prepares is very tasty, the food that she prepares is very tasty. Clause कभी कभी place हो जाते हैं possible to the noun and it describes preferably next to the noun. डॉक्टर राजेंद्र प्रसाद जो कि हमारे फर्स्ट प्रेसिडेंट रह चुके हैं, बिलीव्स इन अ सिंपल लिविंग एंड हाई थिंकिंग. ताजमहल जो कि कहाँ पे है? आगरा में है. was built by many skilled artisans. Shahjahan's time. Right. On behalf of this, you have to complete this exercise. That was all about sentences, phrases, and clauses. Please go through this. Try to frame these sentences on this, and keep doing hard work for your exam and stay blessed.